Okay. You're welcome on Black Hot Fire Network, sir. I was happy to that group. I put that smiling emoji, so my face automatically. But anyway, thank you very much for watching Black Hot Fire Network and always being here. You're welcome. This is Africa Mariah from Kampala, Uganda. Now, today we are going to, in fact, our topic today is a little bit strong. I was expecting to see Facebook blocking but I guess it was because of the rainbow mafias that they had to block my my live on Facebook yesterday. But today, of course, we're going to talk about like this being the age of Africa's extermination. Now we know Africa has been a focus of various countries. There are nations that have had their attention on Africa for their own selfish benefits from way back during the days of our ancestors, where we saw a lot that happen here in Africa. And today, they have never stopped. Every century that comes by, Africa is at the verge of being exterminated. But we are always grateful for ancestors who probably fight for us unknowingly, and we have never fallen, into their tribe. We know they have been laying traps for Africans from Genesis. That's from the beginning. The moment they found out that continent, the moment they came to know what Africa was, everything they do was about Africa. Their concentration was on Africa. They breathe, they eat, they sleep, they do Africa. Now, they have a lot of missions that, of course, they have implanted here, from the wars, the diseases, the economy, and everything, actually, to the mind. That's a very important part. To the mind of the Africans. They've controlled almost everything. And we are like living, we are like we are like in an action of a book that they wrote. That's why in whichever step we take, they already know. They're always a little step ahead of us. They always know how to go about everything we are doing because they studied us. They are these enemies who know who we are, and for us, we don't really know who they are. And now this is the biggest problem, and probably that's why we go through a lot, and that's why it's very hard for the Africans and the Black people to overcome all these things that are happening all over the world against them, of course. Now, um, first it was the slavery. First it was them finding where we at, and at that time, because of ignorance, Africans welcomed them with open arms and very warmly. The few, of course, not the majority of Africans. Now, there are some articles I read where they say that Africans welcomed the Mzungu. Not every African welcomed the Mzungu. A few of them did. That's why these people categorized us with words like barbaric, words like cannibals, words like hostile, words like, I think it was barbaric, cannibals, hostile, rigid. They categorized us with those words because some of the African society did not really agree and also welcome these people down to Marmalade. But a few of those people who were greedy and they had their own selfish, interest, they embraced and welcomed the Mzungu down to Africa. So not all Africans welcomed Mzungu. That's why some of them will tell you Africans are hostile, they're white, they're everything, because not everyone welcomed them. Now, the moment they stepped down here, things started changing. I know at times I come across comments from different Africans who keep on like condemning, like, why are you dwelling in our past? Okay, the reason why you're living the way you are is because you want to. So don't start blaming those other people. It was the past and everything. Now, if it was the past, if there is no past, there is no future. Now, this is something that Black people should get to know. If you don't have your history, if you don't have a past, there is no future, because from the past there comes a future. From the history comes the present. So the people should stop this issue of blaming those ones who are still emotionally attached to what happened years ago. First of all, unless you have not been someone who has been affected directly, you will never understand. To the point that I read some comments all over social media where some Africans, of course, are blaming other Africans who usually talk about history, like, why are you talking about the past? This world is one, we are the one and all that. Yes, we know. Yes, we know. But if what we are going through now was better than before, we would not be remembering the past. Why do we remember the past? Because what we are living, the life we are living now, reminds us of the past. Things have not changed. We have not felt the love. Our spirits and our souls have not been pampered. They have not been nurtured to forget the past. That's why people keep on talking about the past. There is no way you will forget the past when what you're experiencing still connects you to the past. So I really apologize to those people who feel like we should not talk about slave trade, we should not talk about slavery, we should not talk about colonialism, we should not talk about we cannot do away with the history of Africa. We cannot do away with this painful history because we are still living in pain. So don't come here and start telling me, don't talk about history. First of all, it is gone. The world is changed. We are one people. It was not them. It was not who. Without history, there is no present. Without the past, there is no future. And if we were living better than the history we lived, we wouldn't be talking about this. At least the good life would have healed our wounds. The wounds are still fresh and the scars are still swollen in the hearts of Africans who still believe in the goodness of Africa. And for those more especially who lost their closest people, the ones who lost their identity and those who lost their legacy, more especially those who never betrayed Africa. Now, there is no way they can forget that. When I'm talking about the history of Africa, it affects me personally because I know my history. I know my great-grandfathers. I know what happened to them. I know everything. So at times, when I look at what is happening around me, I'm like, if things never happened the way they did, probably I would be somebody else. Maybe life would be something else. I'm not like saying I wouldn't be me, but maybe I would be, somebody somewhere different from here. It's not like I do not appreciate what I am now, but I feel like even in this thorn, I'm still this. What about if there were no thorns? What would I be? So it is okay to talk about the past. Yes. Now, Africa is at the age of extermination. This has not started now. It is just improving. The first day they recognized, the first day they found where Africa was at, the first day they stepped on Mama Land was the day Africa started, this journey of extermination. the displacement of the sons and the daughters of the soil, the introduction of various religions that overthrew or took over the Africa's religion, the colonialism, the boundaries that they created, the demarcations that they built all over Africa's soils and land, that were deeply embedded in the hearts and the souls and the spirit of the Black people that live today. If there were no demarcations, I would not be a Uganda now. I would be probably bigger than Uganda. If there were no those demarcations, I wouldn't be saying, this is Africa Maria, live from Kampala, Uganda. I'm supposed to tell you this because you have to know. Because the moment I tell you I'm Africa Maria, then where she come from? Because it is important in your mind for you to know where she comes from. That's why we go by that. Because even if I don't tell you I'm from Kampala, Uganda, you would still be asking, where is she from? Because this is your mind, and that's the importance. You want to know, where is she coming from? If these demarcations were not built on the hearts and the souls of the Black people over the world, we would not be questioning where we're coming from. We would rather be one people. But we are not. We are not. That is an extermination. The unity, the love, spirituality. That was the first extermination, and the moment you cannot recognize who you are gone. You see, Africans be talking about the Black Americans in America like, you're so lost, you guys don't know where you come from. Who knows where they come from here in Africa, first of all? Who knows where they come from? Y'all be complaining about, and then I'm always looking at them and I'm like, are you okay? Seriously? You Black Americans don't know where you come from. You're just so lost with no identity. You go, but who has an identity in Africa? No. You guys can tell me who has an identity here. Who has an identity apart from you identifying yourself, the tribe that was given to you by your colonial masters? You identifying yourself by the borders that were created by your colonial masters. You identifying yourself by their name, Maria. You identifying yourself by whatever it is that they give you. And then you stand and start telling Black Americans in America and the Black people in Germany and everywhere, like, you guys are so lost, you got no identity. We got no identity. So Africans should start saying, we got no identity. I don't care what you think. Because even right now, even tribes keep on fighting each other. You even don't know your history simply because they told you your dad was speaking this language and okay, I belong to that language. You even don't know where you come from. You don't understand your history. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed and very grateful. I think it comes from my ancestors. For you to know your lineage, to understand where you come from, to understand the genesis of everything is a blessing. So it is. So you will hear some others, me, Bo, you understand they come from Israel. They say Israel. They Hebrew Israelites. And then others will say, you're complaining, we are not Nigerians, we are Hebrew Israelites, by our step away, we want Biafra now. You're saying you're not Nigerians, you are Hebrew Israelites. Again, you want Biafra. Again, what are you talking about? And then others will say, we are not Africans, we are Hebrew Israelites, but again, you're fighting for the land in Nigeria, so you want to have your own portion. Are you confused? What exactly are you talking about? And this is the number one extermination card. Because the moment people are disorganized like this, the moment you do not know who you are, the moment you start denying who you are, that's the number one extermination. That means there is a possibility that someone is going to play with your emotion, your mind, and make you commit a lot of crimes against you, humanity, and everyone around you. because you do not know how you identify yourself. All you know is what you were told, the boundaries that you believe you live in, you know. So that is the number one explanation. You cannot, because let's look at the scenario of COVID-19. It was also among the extermination programs that was built for Africa. But a few people were conscious, withdrew from this shirt. Now that is not in thyself. But those ones who were, psychologically exterminated, just dived right into the shards and embraced the program like it was another new beautiful day to embrace. And then what happened? A lot of people are dying. We are seeing a lot of infectious stuff happening. The immune system of Africans is very down. So Lando has come through. Lando, you're welcome on Black Fire Network. Lando is asking what's the topic today. The topic is Africa being at the age of extermination. And like I was saying before you came, like Africa's extermination started way back. It has just not, it hasn't started now. It hasn't started of recent. It started way back. The moment they discovered Africa was the moment their greed for Africa yielded, expanded. With a slave trade, slavery, religion, this whole colonization and everything that happens around Africa is a process. It's a process of extermination. And the greatest extermination was the mind. Was the mind. And it's still, because a few of Africans can categorize themselves and understand who they are. Most of the Africans believe in the boundaries. They identify themselves with the boundaries that were created by the colonial masters. That means their minds were exterminated. They do not really understand the true cause. Like I was saying before, Lando, you came, a lot of Africans keep calling the Black Americans in America, like, you don't know who you are, you don't have an identity, you guys are just there, you don't know where you come from. And I also see a lot of them crying all over social media. I feel so sad that I'm right here. I don't know where I come from, but I'm so strong because I believe I come from Africa, mama land, even if I'm not yet sure of where I come from. Do the Africans in Africa know where they come from? Apart from being here and thinking that you come from that small demarcation that was built or created or demarcated by your colonial masters, apart from you thinking that, okay, I'm a Kenyan, I'm a Ghanaian, I'm a Ugandan, I'm a Sudanese, so whatever happens outside Sudan is not, does not concern me. You are also lost. That means you also don't know who you are. The Igbo people, we are Hebrew Israelites. We are not Africans. We come from Israel. They even don't know what Israel was at that time. They even don't know Israel, the history of Israel. They be just jumping all the time, talking nonsense. We are not Africans. It's you people who are Africans. For us, we are Hebrew Israelites, And then you are the very people who are fighting that you want to have your own freedom in Africa. You want a piece of Africa, Nigeria. You want to have your own independence in a place which you are not calling home. You can see how disorganized we are. You want to have a piece of a place you don't call home. Anyway, that's Africans for you. Africa is having a cleansing, not an extermination. This is a cycle of the celestial cycle change and the balance. I don't know. Lando says that Africa is having a cleansing. We as Africans, well, you may be right. A cleansing is a program. Let me call it a program because they also have programs for us. We are at This cleansing is a decision that Africans are deciding to consciously wake up and embrace reality. This is something that you as Africans are creating as a mechanism of overcoming all these stuffs that are happening or whatever is being planned for us. Cleansing is a mechanism that we are trying to build around us, okay? To consciously understand, to consciously imbibe and fight for what is affecting us. But as for the plan, we are in an extermination, because as we try to cleanse ourselves, like you say, I don't deny that, as you try to cleanse, to consciously awaken, they have plans for us. And like I said, these plans started from way back. We are seeing the infectious diseases. We are seeing the diseases that are being dumped down here. We are seeing how Africans are being used for their tests, like the way they used to use African women way back. We are seeing what is happening here. We are seeing what they are doing with the GMOs being sent down. Every purpose is meant for the Black people, for the Africans. We are seeing what they are trying to create. We are seeing the rainbow mafias coming down. We are seeing all this is for the purpose of exterminating Africa. All these programs are for the purpose of exterminating the Black people. All these programs are for the purpose of exterminating Africa. And yes, according to that process, like Lando is saying, that we are going through a cycle of cleansing. We as African, we are, but the world is not. This is not a mission that the world is taking us through. Cleansing us is not their mission, but their mission is to exterminate us through various things, through the infections, the family planning shit, and all this, making women and men sterile and everything. Africa have too many negative vibrations and frequency that needs to be changed and balanced in order for Africa to raise back to her glory. And the first one is the mind. Because there is no way we are going to keep on preaching. That's preaching about this conscious awakening and reality, building the minds of the Black people to embrace and understand, realize, and also fight for themselves to protect their legacy. We cannot preach about this if Africans are still, they are still unconscious. And like you said, we need to change and balance. We need that vibration. We need that positive vibration and frequency. But where does the vibration, where does the positivity and the vibration with the positive vibration and frequency come from? Here. The moment we are done with that, everything's going to be a walkover. And the first enemy of that is this religion that actually is not, we've seen a lot of religions coming up in Africa, and the way Africans are embracing religion is very abnormal. I don't know whether they are so desperate. They are so desperate that they want change, that they want their needs satisfied. They are so desperate. The poverty levels of Africa, are affecting even the psychological understanding of Africans. Because they were so desperate. Somebody wakes up and comes out with a religion, boom. Africans are jumping onto it. Because the first thing these people do in churches, there are three things actually they preach about in African churches today. One is a passport. The number one thing they preach about is a passport. The second one is marriage. Marriage and money. These are the three major things. Even if you go anywhere and just open a video of a pastor, preacher, these are the three keys they use. because every African youth wants to leave Africa. And the moment you give me that passport, oh my God, you've done something great. The moment you give me that passport, so these people know, these business people know and understand that the moment I build a church, they understand what is affecting their people. The moment I build a church, of course, the moment I have youths coming in, I know the youths want to travel. Everyone wants to go to America, Dubai, Germany, whatever. They want to leave Africa, so they want the passport. 2, every African young lady, including Maria, they want to get married. So everyone wants to get married. Every young lady coming to church, she's praying she wants a good husband. Okay, no, a good husband comes later. She wants to get married. So these pastors know. Another one, they want money. I'm praying for wealth. I'm praying for passport. I'm praying for marriage. The moment you say the next crusade is going to be about I don't know how they arrange their crusades. Africa has to be okay. I don't know, but that's how they do it. So you will find everybody running, and what do they do in the end? When they're having these crusades and they are preaching about people getting rich, it is the reverse. It is them getting rich, them getting the passport, them laying down with the girls. If she's a pastoress, laying with the boys. Yeah. Because during those, crusades, what do? I know of some pastors who even use very big jerrycans, like 20-liter huge jerrycans or tins as, a container of collecting offertory. And what do they do when people are coming for offertory? Of course, that's the money they will be given in as an offering. They will be like, talk something on your money. Tell your money what you want and put the money in the jerrycan. God will give you according to what you've given. And you will see everybody trying to give in their best. And as they preach prosperity, they are preaching prosperity about themselves. And you, as the Africans out here, how do you end? So, miscegenation, tribalism, religion, and self-hatred are the vibrations and the frequencies that must be changed and balanced. Crusade is a war against your mind and spirituality. Those are 2 comments from Lando. Thank you for those great comments. Thank you so much. So you see, they organize all the things, but I think deep inside, all they are doing is that, all I care about is money. That's why even if it is an upcoming pastor, I'm calling them upcoming because, for them, they go through stages. There is that stage of upcoming, then you become a celebrity, We'll never build a small church, whether the church is made of papyrus, wood, plywood, iron sheets, clothes, whatever, tarpaulin, whatever. They will never make a small church because for their investment, they want it big. You'll find them having huge churches when there are only 3 people in there praying. And the moment they start making miracles, you see how the churches are going to feel that. Miracle is the number 1 market for pastors. Everybody in Africa is looking for a miracle. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oof. So everyone is looking for a miracle down here in Africa. So Africans have so very much neglect. Hello, Maria. Orlando K. Washington, you're welcome. Thank you for coming through. Hello, hope you're doing great. All right. It has been raining cats and dogs. It has really rained. It can rain for the world. This season is very, very wet. Heading out, we listen while driving, dropping in to show my support. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kay Washington. Thank you so much for dropping that. Yeah, at least I know you're watching. Thank you so much. And Orlando yesterday wasn't here, and now he's here. Thank you also for giving me that support. I know you always do. Thank you. I'm not seeing Deep Jabba. I'm not seeing that second one. General Mosquito, Kay Williams, Robert Williams, and Caesar Williams. I'm not seeing Dwight Davidson. I'm not seeing uh who else? I'm not seeing Derek. Yeah, if I can remember. Yeah, those are the ones I can remember. I'm not seeing Yao. I hope you're all doing good. I'm not seeing here. Lie. I'm not seeing Melanie. Mm. Is it Sazias, whatever? I don't know. Your name is a little bit. Is it Caesars? I guess. That one, his name is always this, so I'll call him Williams. Yeah. Africa needs to restructure the culture that will serve Africa centerness. Now, if Africa goes back to her old ways, actually, which we know technology and modernity cannot allow. When I talk about technology and modernity, I'm not like talking about the other primitive society that Africa had before that most people keep on talking about. The first place, Africa never had that. But that's kind of life where we are so close. But what modernity has done, has changed a lot of Africans' perspective. Africans have embraced modernity and this technology more than itself. So yeah, if Africa goes back to restructure itself, just like Lando says, I believe we will have some good seeds and good yields coming out of this. So we as Africans, we have been, attacked in various ways. People focus on the sicknesses, people focus on the drought, people focus on the war that is going on in Africa, but we know who is engineering this. And unless Africans wake up to realize who they are, probably they would understand that it's not necessary for you to attack your fellow Africans. If you look at these countries that have been engulfed with the wars and genocide acts like Congo and other central, African countries, you realize that the people who are hunting these Africans in that geographical area actually are Africans who are coming from the outside. Because of tribalism, because of the boundaries you feel, it is okay for me, Maria, to go and attack the people in Congo because I'm a Ugandan, so I don't care who dies in Congo. Because it is okay for me as a Muslim from wherever to come and start, the Boko Haram shit in Nigeria because I don't come from there. Because it is okay for me to go and, take some money from whoever is engineering this war. I'm recruited into this war. I enter the forest of whichever African country to fight my fellow Black people simply because I know this is not affecting my mother. It is not affecting my daughter. My daughter is fine wherever she is. I know where my brothers are at. So whatever it is, I'm coming down to Congo to fight you. I don't care because I don't have anybody in Congo. I don't have a relative in Congo. Tribalism. Tribalism. Who say that the people in Congo are not related to you? If you study your history, probably you can't even realize that you're just not as original as they are. You'll come even to realize maybe you are just as not. You're just not who you thought you were. You're killing your own flesh and blood simply because you believe you belong to that boundary, simply because you feel you belong to that territory. And they knew it. They knew it. The moment they separate us according to the territories, the tribes, they got us all in their feast. Just we are eating from their hearts. Because actually, if you look at Congo, like we saw people standing up trying to attack Rwanda and of course Uganda. There are people who are in Congo, they are trying to, the rebels and people who are coming from these countries, that Kagame is trying to engineer and support the war. There is no way you would wake up to go and fight where you know you got a brother, where you know your brother is going to lose a life, unless you feel that the other person has got nothing whatsoever, nothing connecting to you. And that is where everything starts. These people who are these rebels in different countries, they are not rebels from those very countries. They are Africans from these other countries. They're just being trained, given money, they receive salary actually. They're like working to cause disunity in these other countries simply because they feel they don't belong there. Because they feel they don't belong there. I feel I'm not a Congolese, okay? I'm not a Kenyan, all right? I'm not whatever. I'm not. Because it was put in your mind. You see? It was put in your mind. Africa has not dealt with colonialism and all its effects and affects to our, cycle. We must repair the wounds of our minds. We must repair the wounds of our mind. Speaking about the wounds, the reason now, I know some other people hate listening to history. They hate listening to what happened to Africans. I usually find like if I'm writing some articles on my social media handles, I usually write some articles about Africa's history and lots of stuff. So you find people jumping into the comments like you're still lagging behind, you're stuck, in the past. If we were living better than the past, I don't think we would be complaining. But the wounds are still flesh. They are still fresh. The wounds are still fresh. The scars are swollen. When a scar swells, it is always itchy. It always reminds you that I'm here. Now, this is what we are living. The scars are swollen. The wounds are still fresh. They are oozing. Because if we are living in a better way, why would we still be feeling the pain of the past? Okay, maybe we do. Because some of us were directly affected. Some of us still have, the story that directly attaches us to the stories, to the history. For those who understand, they will know. But of course, for those who don't know, they will never understand. And there is no way we cannot talk about the history. Because we ought to know history for us to know who we were and who we are. The moment you don't know history, you don't know who you are. There is no way the future is going to give you who you are. Yes, I know they tell you as you go to the future, you change, you have to whatever. But it is because of history that you are who you are, and that can never change. So it is okay for us to talk about these sad moments. It is okay for us to talk about the future. It is okay for us to talk about the present. Look at the GMOs now. Even the African in their deepest rural area knows about these genetically made things. And the saddest part of it all, they don't really understand what it is. Extermination. Africa, agriculture is the backbone of Africa. Africans love food. The moment you touch there, you have touched Africa. And GMO things grow very fast. That is one. And do you also know that the way the climate of Africa has changed, it is only favoring the GMOs. For those who are planting GMOs are the only people who are surviving in the world of agriculture. The agricultural system of Africa has been attacked. The agricultural system has been attacked. It is only those who are planting GMOs, it is only those who are planting GMOs that are surviving in this climate that has changed. I can tell you, I've been having tests the entire last week and this week. It has been raining every day. I go in the rain, I come back in the rain. The places are flooding. It is only today that I saw the sun come out. It is raining. Crops are being immersed in water. Crops, animals are dying. The farmers are crying. I'm seeing famine coming to Africa. They are killing all the organic things because in organic plants, there is a certain amount of rain that is required. And there is also an amount of sunshine that is required for plants that have chlorophyll in them. Now, only those, I even hear farmers actually talking about how, whoever is dealing, they call it, the old food, the ancestral food, is going to have a loss. We need to embrace these other new things that Muzungu has got because for them, they can maneuver through this climate. So they are making it possible for all Africans to reject organic farming and embrace these other things because for them, they can endure in this kind of heavy and dangerous climate that they have imposed on Africa. And yes, this climate has been programmed. There is no way Africa was receiving rainfall. I have a friend from South Africa who was telling me for them they're always dry and all that. I know my country well. I'm going East Africa, let me say, because East Africa's climate is almost the same. We have been receiving rainfall and sunshine throughout the year. There is nowhere we don't receive this. If it rains in the morning, it's going to shine in the afternoon and by the evening. If it rains throughout the day or 2 days at most, we shall see the sunshine, at least to balance. It is not. It has been raining throughout. I've been going to do my test in the rain, coming back in the rain, going back the next day. It only stops at night. As morning comes, it starts showering. And not like before where we used to see the nimbus clouds in the sky and then everyone is trying to get their clothes from the lines, taking the clothes inside. We are trying to collect our stuff together. This rain nowadays just comes without creating the nimbus clouds. It just starts pouring like, there's no time for you to prepare. It is like something that has been injected and it just comes, you know. So what is this? There is no time for plants to, flower. The moment they do, the rain is dropping all the flowers down and all that. And where there is no flowers, there is no fruit. So a lot is going on. But I know in one way or the other, the moment this African nature creates its defensive mechanism, because this I know, that Africa has a defensive mechanism that it's built by its own. Motherland does that. It has not yet tried to understand this climate thing, but I'm telling you, sooner or later you are going to see Motherland defending itself against this. And I believe, because I've ever seen this happen. And that's why Africans have so very much managed to maneuver through all these programs, except the one of the mind, of which I'm seeing we are waking up. So I believe there is a time where Mama Land is going to understand and try to transform the soil, the trees, the nature. Everything in Africa is going to respond. It's going to build a defensive mechanism against this attack, because we are having a climatical attack in Africa. This is not normal. It is not that we are so very industrialized that the ozone layer has been affected by the rays of the sun. Like they always tell us, why is it that you guys who are so very industrialized outside Africa are not receiving this, apart from, of course, a few Indonesia and whatever, where we see that, and it's also not so very industrialized. We would say we have cut down all our trees, we have done this a lot, and the ozone layer has been affected, it has got holes, direct, whatever. No. This is an abnormal thing. And for the fact that every situation that happens down here has a name, the heavy storms and floods that happen have a name. That means the things were genetically made. They know their names. That's why they know we are sending wave number 1. Go and destroy Africa, and they will name it. Wave number 2, the moment they start talking to each other. Whatever means they use now. Are you seeing that effect? That was wave number 3 that we just sent of recent. Are you seeing what is happening in Zimbabwe? Are you seeing what is happening in Malawi? Yes, we just sent that of recent. Okay, that is Lando 19. Orlando 5. So they named the things because they made them. Otherwise, how quick would you come up with a name of a hazard? So it is sad and very appalling how Africa is the center of attention. Though in the other way around, they tell us you're so poor, you're that. Why do we attract you so much? Why are we the center of your attention? If at all we are that, we are disgusting, we are that. What is it? What do you want? That means we are gold. That means Africa, we are the best thing that has ever happened to this world. And until we realize that, then we are so sorry. We are very sorry. So Africans have to wake up and realize and embrace and get to know that the world is against them. They should understand that this game is meant for them. I can see Keith in the studios.
You can't come to a poor continent, Maria, to steal. Can't come to a poor continent to steal. So You know, how did you say Africa is poor? You can't come to a poor continent to steal. You can't come.
Mm-hmm.
You can't steal from poor people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't steal
Mm-hmm.
from poor. You can't steal from poor people. So
Mm-hmm.
Africa's wealthy. Just the fact that Africans' minds have been destroyed. Excuse me, that's from my build on. African minds have been destroyed to believe all kind of lies. And what Maria was saying about not knowing that you are everybody in Africa is related to the Congolese. That's the beginning of civilization in the Congo. So you're all Congo. But you say you're not. You've been given tribalism, tribal beefs, then think borders that didn't exist. Can't say you're Ugandan, you're Kenyan, you're Nigerian. That's not true. Because then you got why you got same tribes in different countries. Why you got the Lua who are in Kenya, Uganda, Congo, I think they're in Rwanda, I think they're also in Tanzania. So which one are you? Are you Ugandan? Are you Ugandan Lua? Are you Ugandan Kenya? Are you Congolese Lua? Why you got the same tribes that exist that's also in Nigeria from the Fulani Hausa, who also in Nigeria, Togo, northern Ghana, also in Senegal, and parts of Mali, Burkina Faso. So are you Fulani Senegalese? Are you Fulani Burkina Fasoan? Are you Fulani Nigerian? Are you Fulani Togolese? These borders and these divisions are phony. So you need to know that these borders and these divisions are phony. As African people, your mind has been captured. You hate each other. You practice self-hate. That's why you have tribal wars and tribal beefs. It's all in your mind until you can elevate your mind and land those rights about your vibration being low. African vibration is so low that you see conflict amongst each other. You can't look at another African and that's your brother and sister because you in Uganda and you go down to Zimbabwe or Zambia, you can't tell that's the same person as you. You really that fucked up in the head. You can't see that the Zambian is you. You can't see the Nigerian is you. You can't see the Angolan is you. You can't see the Namibian is you. You can't see that. So you really mentally, spiritually messed up. So um, and you know, till you're able to do that as a people, you continue to be conquered and dominated. That's why other people are coming out. You think the Chinese are coming to Africa because it's poor, because it's wealthy. They're not there to be your friend. Africans are everybody's coming to help you and be your friend. That's the mindset Europeans gave you with these backward religions. Ain't nobody came to Africa to be your friend. Ain't nobody ever coming to Africa to do African people any good. You ain't figured that out yet? That's a fact. No other people that's not Africans coming to Africa meant African people any good. Look at Northern Africa. Bodies invaders. Y'all, you people go crazy. Gaddafi. Fuck Gaddafi. Gaddafi wasn't for black people. He wanted to control Africa because, yeah, he knew Africa was wealthy. So he wanted to have you guys come under him, being an heir. Everybody was all apologizing. I'm sorry what we did, all that. As soon as they murdered his ass, Libya's the same way today. Killing African people, enslaving African people. Because those invaders up in Libya, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Egypt are not our friends. Those are invaders. Yeah, morons talking about Gaddafi. Fuck Gaddafi. He wasn't your friend either. You got damn Africans still in southern Libya that they've been trying to murder off. And now you see when he died, he kept the country intact, but he was always anti-black. The good idea, he wanted to unite African people. That's great, cool. But you're not going to be ruling over nobody African. He wanted to be the ruler. Ain't nothing allowed no Arab to rule over no Africa. And the continent's called Africa. It ain't called Arabia, Arabica. It's called Africa. No Arab will rule over African people. Unless your mind is all messed up. Africans love to tout other people. Now you think the Russians are coming to save you. Oh, the Russians are not as bad as the other one. You been to Russia? You see how racist Russians are? Are you screaming about the Russians are here to help you? They're here to help you. They're here to rob and steal like the other Europeans. They're here to get their piece of the pie, moron. They're here to help you. What do you think Sudan? Sudan is a proxy war between the Americans and the Russians. Who's going to control Sudan? America had planned to go into Sudan years ago. All these wars you think are accidental, Syria, Libya, America had already planned in the early 2000s, said we're going to go in these 7 countries and take them over. Libya being one, Afghanistan, Syria, Sudan, Iraq. What's the other 2? I want to say some other, I forgot the other 2. They'd already planned to take them over 20 years ago. And so when Russia got in there, Russia was trying to build a military base in there. And America's like, oh, no, you're not building a military base in here, not with us around. So you got one faction sponsored by the Russians, giving them military gear, and one faction sponsored by the Americans. It's a proxy war. And understand Sudan, I think it's the 3rd largest gold producing Africa. Let me see, what are the top 10? What are the top 10 gold producing countries out of Africa? Let's see here. Oh, I'll share my screen. Let me see here. Let's see here. Oh. Yep, so right there. I thought it was the 3rd, so let me do this. So let me show this why they're there. Africa's very poor. You African Negroes are poor. Don't get out of here talking that crazy stuff. So you look right here why they're there. Sudan is number 3, like I said. Ghana being number 1. South Africa being number 2. Sudan is number 3. Ain't no Mali was so high that Mali, of course, that's why you think the France don't want to leave Mali and Burkina Faso, all these gold producing wealthy countries. Sudan is number 3. Okay? That's what this war is about. What European power is going to take control of this resource. Got Mali and Burkina Faso. I ain't no Burkina Faso that high, so you got Africa living in abject poverty. You're going to show me that. That's 10. 1, 2, 3. That's only 5. Okay. Look at the rest. I'm sure. That's one of the top 10. I'm sure Congo, Tanzania, Zimbabwe are all in that top 10. And now Uganda with their find of gold, but Africa's wealthy no matter where it's at. So, but I just wanted to come share that. The Russians not there to be your friend. They're not in Mali to be your friend. They're not coming to Burkina Faso to be your friend. They're because you're wealthy and they want it. They know you Negroes' minds are messed up. You got the mind of children. That's why they're there. Not there to be your friend. Run around with Russian signs. Oh, the Russians are coming. They're getting the French out of here. Yeah, stupid. Yeah, they're coming to replace another white man. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to leave Maria alone. Now, that's all I wanted to say. I think you moved your mic, Maria.
I was giving you space to come talk.
You doing what?
Anyway, I guess you're coming in the studio because my time is almost up. Maybe we shall talk in inbox later. For now, I
talked to your friend. He was that guy wasn't even coming back to dang Kampala, Maria. I talked to him. Did he talk to you?
No, but well,
I gave him the offer, so he's like, I'm coming back. I had no intention of coming back. I said,
Well,
I'm hiring you to be with Maria. I can't. Are you coming back or not? So I guess he may be. I don't know. I said, Rita, I'm hiring you to do more work. So how long? So how long is the day? I said about 5 or 7 hours.
I know, but whichever way, because I'm having my last test of this year tomorrow. At least I
Mhm.
have one full or and a half month. So I wanted to do some bits of field work and some interviews since I'm not going to school.
Well, let
But
me know.
whichever way, I'm going to try a way of doing it.
Let me know. Well, let me know that because I gotta wait for him to come back for him to hire him because he's out in the village. I don't know where his village is even at.
Huh?
How far is he
What?
away from? How far is he away from Kampala? Do you know how
I
far away?
wouldn't even hear.
How far away is he from Kampala? You know, Maria.
Yeah, it was. That was cool. But
I'm saying, but how far is he away now?
I
How
guess
far?
he'll come back. I
How
don't
far is the
know.
village? Yo, you don't know what village he come from?
Ah,
I
yeah.
thought-
So yeah. So from tomorrow, next week, I think I'll try and see how I can fix some stuff because I'll not be going to school. I'm having my last paper tomorrow. That's end of this semester. So I think I have a whole month at home. So I'll
okay,
try
you want
and
to start
see
off?
how I make the interviews. For those
Mom,
who are watching us now, thank you so much.
hold
People
on,
shall continue.
hold on. You ain't got. Hold on, we talk. We good. We can talk right now. Nobody. We good. We ain't in no
What?
rush. Calm down. We ain't in no rush. Calm down.
Are you listening to the show?
Huh? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened to Joby. Shit, Joby disappeared. I don't know where Joby ass at. Joby's upset about her sister. Joby's upset about her sister, Maria, because her
Mm,
father is making her go to Saudi Arabia,
mm.
and so Joby's beside herself. She's upset. So
And what?
that's we might not do the show because her dad,
What?
African parents are because you know what they do to African people in Saudi Arabia, African women, Maria.
Yeah, yeah.
And her dad wants her sister to go to Saudi Arabia so he can send money back to his crooked ass family. They don't care about them. Yeah, why would you send your daughter over to Saudi Arabia? You know what goes on over there.
Huh.
So he sent
Well,
her daughter over to send money back to him and his wife.
what?
Yeah,
That's terrible.
ain't that
Sorry
terrible?
about that.
Yeah, so imagine so Joby's beside herself. We might not do the show that she's all broken hearted and hurt. I'm trying to let her know, Joby, it's only so much you can do. So I told her to bring her to the station, the studio Monday and talk to her, show her images. I said, give her much information you can, but that decision at the end of the day is going to be hers to
I'm
make.
so sorry.
Exactly. So she's hurt, crying.
You're dropping. Your network is breaking a little.
Mine is breaking. Okay, maybe it's you. You breaking? Maybe is it me?
Maybe,
I see you
but
good.
me, I
Maybe
feel like I'm not breaking. It's
you're
you is
not.
breaking.
Okay, so my network is all fucked up. Apologize.
Why are you laughing?
No, but I'm saying, see what you're talking about. These are things because Africans have been put in so much poverty, they got to put their own
Mhm.
children at risk. They don't feel no immorality in putting their own children at risk because they feel the child can support their family. If you should have took your ass out there when you were a teenager to Saudi Arabia or Dubai, not your children. And so now you make your children feel obligated to take care of you and your family, which is wrong, which is immoral. So that's why she's upset, emotional today. So, you know, she's scared for her sister. Just like you seen those photos that you showed the women come back from Saudi Arabia and they was at the Saudi Arabia embassy in Uganda and ain't nothing happened to those
Mm.
people. Uganda government ain't gonna do a damn thing. They had those dead bodies of those women coming back, and nothing was ever done. So just like the images, what's going to happen. So I said, let her know that they're going to take her passport as soon as she lands. Yeah, got your passport. Tell her to put a passport in her underwear. So I lost it.
Well, did you see the video of the other guy you were asking me about in the status?
What other guy? Which one?
The
Yeah,
one
the
who
one.
was shot.
Yeah, you showed me that. What else could you show me? They murdered him. I don't know what. I don't know what
You
happened to him.
know,
And I don't know. Can we talk about it? Is it safe? Is it safe to talk about him?
you know, it is very funny. I don't know how Africa's government work actually. This guy was a blogger. He was just speaking the truth. He was someone who never shied away from facts. He was not someone who,
You
he
know
was
that.
someone who never shied away, from, things that are affecting the people. And whoever was being intimidated in one way or the other, they would come and give him the information, and then he publishes this
Well,
information.
you
So
know, being in
yeah,
Africa, Maria, that's why you would always be quiet about something. Africa's a thiefdom. These people were put in power by the Europeans to manage their money. So you speaking the truth causes these thieves up at the top of Uganda, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana to take notice to you, and they will send people out to do you harm because
and
they were. Oh, go ahead, go
the
ahead.
funniest thing is, even when he was making his live, just like I could be right now on this live, somebody
Exactly.
comes in the comment section and says, "It is good you're going to die tonight."
See, and
You
exactly.
see that?
Yeah.
And before even that, like 2 months ago, somebody comes in and says, "You're going to die on the 6th of June." And he did die on
Yeah.
that very day. And I wonder why the government is not pinpointing these people out, because they
Because they
spoke
the
in broad daylight
they
about,
the
they were prophesying about his death, and they were telling him, "You're going to be killed."
because the
And there
government.
is a video like he was having with his friend. The last video is actually, he was somebody who loved going home early because he knew that people were after him. So he was someone who usually went home very early. He never stayed out at night. But that day, it's like his friends kept him busy. Like they knew what was going to happen to him.
They
No
set him
matter
up.
what he was saying, like, "I want to go home," they tried to make him stay. And he was killed actually like at around 8.
Mm.
Okay, so anyway,
See
you can
that?
see in Africa, at the moment you try to,
Tell the truth.
speak that truth, everyone is against you.
I
To
don't know
the
about
point
every.
that they were,
I don't know about every
calling
woman.
him and warning him
I
and
don't know
all
about
that
every
stuff.
woman. It's like that. Well, everybody's putting poverty. So the ruling elite going to pay these individuals to get rid of you because you're now. Africa is meant to be ignorant, meant to not to know how things work, and so since you know, and he would know, you become a target, you become a danger to the ruling class because they got to keep their European masters happy. You expose them doesn't make them happy, and so things roll downhill. It's very dangerous. So that's why we know certain things we cannot discuss or talk about because it puts your life at risk. Because Africa was set up as fiefdoms. There are no democracies in Africa. That's all the fake. His elect excellence. These are fiefdoms. Did nobody vote for no damn 70, no damn 40 years plus? He's sponsored by the Europeans. Him and Kagame both. They go into Congo to steal and help money off, and in return, they're allowed to be presidents, and their militaries are funded by the Europeans to go make sure the people don't uprise and get rid of them. Yeah, any of them get out of line, then that's when they'll be overturned or thrown out of power. So Africa's tightly managed to make sure African people stay on the bottom. If you despots get the resource, them and their family live decently, but the country's pillaged. Africa's wealthy, so it's always just a common sense that Africa's wealthy because it is. We've seen all the gold. The number one gold producers in the world are African. So how's African poor? So there's a system that's been designed and built up to perpetuate that forced poverty. Well, it makes the European, now the Chinese wealthy, keeps Africans ignorant and impoverished. That's the instead of it. Till you get somebody, and when somebody tried to stop it and talk about it, he was last person was John Magufuli. They murdered him. They got rid of him. You out of here. You try to tell you that African people are supposed to be wealthy and not beggars. Not supposed to be getting these fake loans. He refused the loans. Said we would sign these Chinese loans. You crazy. He was taken care of. And because of you know what? And then he's also said, don't see yourself as Tanzanians, Ugandans, because we're Africans. He was also a Pan-African. That's a no-no. You must protect your own Tito. You must, I'm this president, I'm that president, I'm that president. Since he was saying, but not, no.
You're freezing.
Huh?
You're freezing.
Oh, I'm freezing? Am I freezing, guys?
You are like.
So, okay, I didn't know I'm freezing. I'm freezing. Can you guys see me? Yeah. That's disturbing the skin. Someone's doing it bad back. It is. It is. It is disturbing. That's why she. So we might not do the show. I can't find Joey. She's so distraught and hurt in her soul. So she's so distraught and hurt in her soul. So I don't know if I doubt we do the show. I can't even.
Sorry about that, by the way.
Yeah, it's
I'm sorry.
very sad. So, she's very distressed. So I don't think there'll be no Africa Today show. Africa Today show today. She's very distraught, and understandably, that's her younger sister, the one that's next to her. So, not being able to protect your own family members is. But that's the kind of poverty they put the kind of desperation, as Maria was just talking about, desperate kind of desperation the Europeans have put the African in. And so the idea that you think you could sell your own daughter, that she would bring money back to you while because you're not going to get treated well. We know there's no good stories of anybody being treated well in Arabic countries. It just doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. So her father cannot be completely ignorant to pretend, as Maria said about a year ago, you remember we did a show like a year ago, you can't pretend you don't know what's going on anymore in these Arabic countries. You can't talk about your ignorance. Too many things have happened. He was saying that about a year ago. Too many things have happened. Yes. Like you do not know. You keep going. You can't pretend like you don't know what's going on over there. I remember he said that about a year ago on the show. It's true. So her father's got to know. There's no way he can pretend he didn't know, because he tried to send Joby too. He tried to send Joby. Joby had all the paper. The Joby said, like he said, her intuition said, no, I'm not doing it. He got mad. No. He put her out the house. No, I'm not going over there. No. So he just goes to the next door. Goes down to the door.
I don't know how do you? I don't know.
That's no
Me somewhere, like seriously.
Say, Maria, how what?
I don't want to talk about, but it's
Yeah,
like there is another thing that is going on. At least if it is out of the children's will to say that they want, don't forcefully force people to be going in such a place. First of all, that is already, an impact, on themselves. First of all, you cannot force someone to go in such a place. That place is not conducive. And then they are going unwillingly, psychologically tortured. That's the beginning of everything.
Exactly. So
I'm sorry to learn about that.
Yeah, that's the desperation. That kind of desperation she would send your child into something like that. So that's why Joey's I can't reach her. She was all crazy on the other show. I knew I had to come up there. She's she's ripe with guilt and anger. So if you guys go back and look at the Africa Today show, she was speaking. I knew she was angry. She was all crazy. I said, hey, wait, calm down, tone it down, Joey. So because she's angry and fearful for her sister. So understand that's the desperation these Europeans have put African people in because of being poverty strict, induced with poverty, right? They've induced the wealthiest continent on the planet to a poverty status. It's absolutely
Mm-hmm.
crazy when you think about it. It's absolutely crazy that African people sit on the richest continent on the planet and are impoverished. It blows the mind. It blows the mind. So you say, here, we about to wrap this up. David. What's going on, David? I know you guys thinking lunchtime. What's up? I'm about to wrap let Maria go do her thing. I'm keeping her from wrapping it up. Family, thank you for joining me. I'm gone. I got to eat. I got to get out of here, go get some food in my stomach. So, but we're gonna wrap. I don't know if it's gonna be an Africa Today show. I'm supposed to have Camblish came on today, but I can't find Joby. There's no Joby nowhere. So just give you guys go in the chat room. Give Joby your heartfelt understanding about her sister and her dad trying to send her sister to Saudi Arabia. She's distraught over it. So of course any sister would be same way you see Maria's face when I told her. So you see, we know what happened to black women when they've been sent to Saudi Arabia as domestics. Because that's what they send you. Not send you, she's not being sent over to do no work, but be a domestic in some racist Arab's house. And yes, they're racist by default. Saudi Arabians are racist to African people. So don't say, Keith, she's going to be in somebody's house that's racist. Yeah, she will be. That's by default. It's okay. I know, we just messing with you. I know it's been a busy day. I'm about to attend a book writing seminar, then I'll watch Joby's show when finished. What book writing seminar? You learn how to write a book? You write books now, David? You putting pen to pad? You becoming a black Stephen King? You started to become want to be a writer? You want to be an author now? Hey, that's all right. That's cool. Want to write books? That's all good. I can't find her, so cannot find her. So I can call her again. See if she pick up. I don't think she's gonna pick up. Nope. Can't get her to pick up. That's what's up. Congratulations, you're gonna be a writer. Okay, you can write Maria's her whole story, her life story. Maria coming from the village, fight for justice in Uganda, knocking out all kind of injustices as she goes away and tells the story of African people. Your mic is muted, Maria.
You're crazy. Anyway, what's today? I think it's my network or it's your network. I don't know.
It's yours.
But my network seems to be good because it has loaded.
Plotting something, especially with a bad situation with a family member here. Well, she got to go to She got to go to a funeral tomorrow, and people, the family members she don't like, she got to go pay her respects there. Then her sister, so you know, it's all sent. It's all go in the chat room and give her a positive word inside the chat room. Yeah, bring it out. Yeah, Maria. Maria's got do a book about Maria's life. I'm battling crime in Uganda. And
What?
about being African.
What are you saying?
Crime fighter. You're a reporter. We're reporting is about fighting crime and fighting injustice and fighting corruption. It's just difficult in
That's
Africa.
the way.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
That's what investigative journalism is, Maria. Find the truth behind
Yeah.
it.
Oh, my battery's down.
Well, let me let it go, family.
Oh, no
I can't.
wonder my net.
I
Yeah,
can't.
my laptop wasn't in the power.
It's okay. So much
That's
love.
the
I was gonna be Africa today. Show family. Everybody going to the chat
Now
room.
bring it on, Maria. I'm done, David Brown. You came late. Huh? I'm bringing on nothing. I'm not bringing anything. Yes, I want to go. I'm hungry. I'm
Then,
not eating
then
from
you go.
school.
Calm down. What kind of reporter is this? I'm hungry. What kind of reporter is calm down? We letting you go. All right, Jason. All right, David. All right, Lando. All right, everybody. All right,
I eat like once in a day. I always it is
it
going
was
to
gonna
be
be
on
enough.
the network.
No, I doubt it. I doubt it, Jared.
But is the barrier going to be on the network?
Yeah, it's just still gonna be. I doubt it because I can't find Joby. Joby's missing in action. She's hurt. She's hurt. Joby's missing in action. Unless I can get Maria you got an all point bulletin to find out. So Joby's missing in action. So
We are going to go in an expendable way and look for her.
yeah. So just go in the comments of the WhatsApp. Like our fire thing and leave her a message up in there. Leave her a message. Let her know. Who's this? Keith always got some crazy. Is there racism in Latin American culture? He always putting on these people I don't even like up in the chat room. Shit. I don't like none of these people you keep posting up in here. But anyway, everybody's free to post what you want. Even if I don't like their ass. But go, you know, go show Joby some love. And go Maria send her post family. Hello, family. Please join me on my show. Thank you in advance.
All right. We shall.
That was you, Maria. That was you right there. That was yours. I was reading yours.
Please. It is me.
Yeah, I think that was you. That was your tweet. So, family, let Maria go eat something, family. I see everybody probably tomorrow. If it comes on, you guys will know. If it come on later on, I don't know. I can't find no Joby. So
You'll find her.
I can't find. She's probably out there trying to find her father and beat him up. I don't know. Help her sister. Maybe her sister called. Her sister, she might be somewhere talking to her sister again right now. Her sister was calling. So I don't know. So if we come on, it'll be later on today. If not, I'll see everybody tomorrow. So, because I got to leave out here myself. I'm going to head down to Orlando, Florida. So I got to get up and get my ass down into Orlando. Take care of that business down there. So much love, family. What you typing, Maria? Much love, family. Yeah, type it. We hear you typing tick tick type type tick tick type type tick 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 tick.
That's why I was muting. That's why I was muting my microphone. I'm sorry. I don't know.
trying to get somebody to deliver you some food. I'm almost done. Get your hands over
Yeah,
here. Ticky tock, tick tick tock.
yeah.
Anyway, family, much love.
Don't eat. Tuesday later from school, I entered the studio.
Okay, much love. So
Oh, it.
we gotta make sure if he's coming back, because you guys
I'll
gonna
take some black African tea.
okay. We gotta make sure before he comes back, if that dude comes back, we gotta get some more
Okay.
chairs up for them. Make sure he's got enough room because you guys are not gonna be out
Yeah.
there.
Thank you guys for coming through. Thank you very much for supporting my show. David Brown, Jason, of course, Lando, Jibby Jabba. I saw Washington, and who else was here? Ken
Jay,
Washington, of course.
Jared,
In the race with whom I believe we're just watching. But thank you very much, guys, for coming through. Thank you very much for supporting Black Hot Fire Network.
family.
You are the reason why we're here. Peace.
Peace.
Keith?
I'm done.
Yes.
That's it. Let me end it. All right, you guys. Let me end this stream.